also let the girls know that it's also, I mean, that's why maybe people, when they see ladies assuming male roles, they now say, this is a strong, independent woman, and then they will now be saying, it will be difficult for her to get married because she'll be a threat to the husband. And then when you see men who maybe cry or are very emotional, they say, are you a gay? Do you understand? Are you sure you're a man? They start to question their outlook just because of the way their mindset is. So I think we should prepare people's minds that reality is changing.
It's the big conversation.
All right, welcome back to the show. So today on the big conversation, we're talking girls versus boys and the unequal expectations placed on them. From the time we were children, society already hands us a script. Girls are told to be soft, nurturing, and well-behaved, but boys are told to be strong, unemotional, and in charge. But times are changing, ideologies are shifting, mindsets are being challenged. So are these roles still fair, or are they still relevant? Are we holding on to ideas that no longer fit the world we live in? That's exactly what we're unpacking around this table today. So let's get into it. I mean, during the break, we're already, talking lightly about the topic, and Abigail raised a very salient point because I had said, the expectations placed on boys and girls are definitely not equal. It seems the boys clearly have a lot more pressure, a lot more responsibility. And then she's like, it's fine for them to have that much responsibility. So, I mean, you're going to just defend your points, because I feel at some point, even if it's not equal, it could still be in a way where it's not too skewed, where it feels like the guys are like up there and then ladies are like down here.
No, I think that we have a wrong perception of this whole inequality thing, it's not that the guys are up there, it's just that maybe they are, okay, growing up or when you're born, there are unspoken rules of how you should be.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone actually made it. Maybe God did, like what you said. Because the man was made first. He's meant to be the leader, to assume the leadership position. So if you have a boy and you now decide to train him to be that leader, I don't see anything wrong in that. I don't think it's supposed to be equal, or men and women should be treated. I don't think we are the same. I'm sorry to say that. We are not the same. We don't have the same bodies. We don't have the same mindset. We're not supposed to be doing the same thing. And it's okay not to be the same. Men are to be the stronger, dependent, providers. Women are to be soft, nurturing, and it's completely fine to be that way. There's nothing wrong in taking those roles. I only think where the problem is when you say a man is not supposed to do certain things, or a woman is not. There is no. You can also have the attribute of, as a woman, you can also have the innate part in you
to be able to
do those things that a man can do. And as a man, you should also know, because you don't say because you're a man you're not supposed to enter the kitchen. That's what
they will say. They will say they're already doing a whole lot.
Create a balance.
They will say they're doing a whole lot. That why should they now still?
No. That aspect is for everyone. This is where we create the balance. If I have both male and female, I will train them to do the things, the dishes, the cooking, the same thing. But trust me, I will groom them differently. And it's okay to groom your children differently.
To groom them differently.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let you go, because while she was speaking, you were humming and humming. So you go. Do you agree with that?
In some regard, I do. I totally agree that men and women are different. Even our brain structures, very different, right? So the way you want to raise a boy should not necessarily be the exact way you raise a girl.
Yeah.
However, like she was alluding to, there are certain things that are just basic human necessities or survival skills that I don't feel should now be turned into gender roles. So for example, my dad we're 3 girls and 2 boys. My dad trained all of us how to change tires. Thankfully, I married a man who will take on that role. I don't have to do that. But if I wasn't married and I have a car and I'm in an emergency and I have to change a tire, guess what? I can do that. I think I can still do it, right? So I just feel like, like you were saying, going into the kitchen, you want to eat. Why don't you know how to cook?
Yeah.
Why would you just put your feet up and expect that, oh, I will marry a woman that will cook for me? Do you get? So I just feel like if we want to have conversations around gender roles and all of that, let's take it high level. Let's leave domestic things and stop making it about those things, because if you don't wash your clothes, okay, go buy a machine, great, but if you can't afford to buy a machine, won't you wear clean clothes?
Right.
So yeah, that's the angle I want to take it from.
Because I think even aside, to be very honest, I think maybe sometimes people are a little close-minded and always say, oh, because you're the woman, I mean, you are meant for the kitchen, so you should be the one cooking.
Domestic one.
Yes, it's really just really domestic and short-sighted. But I mean, I view cooking as a life skill.
Yeah.
So if I'm not around and you are hungry, will you now die of hunger?
You'll figure it out.
And as a lady, if you have a car and your tire goes, loses, what would you do?
Yes.
I mean, you would also, these things are things, just see them as life skills, not it is meant for this gender, it is meant for that gender. If light goes out and you need to change a bulb, would you not start calling?
Wait for your husband.
These are things you should just know.
People do actually, they do.
They will call.
Yes, they will not change. They will wait for the husband.
They
No,
don't have a
you
life.
have someone
They
that can
just
help
feel
out
like
with
daddy
us.
that
Like
should
you were
do.
saying earlier about that soft life.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, right?
It's not actually
if you have
wrong.
someone, but it's the mindset that I shouldn't, that it's your role, it's your
right.
place. I
That's
mean,
right.
that's where the issue usually is.
You know, sometimes I intentionally seek out ways to make men help me. Like, maybe, I'm just
As they
saying.
say,
like,
beauty privilege
you
now.
know, when I'm trying to step on the stage, I would just put my hands out. Like, can you help? I can't do it. Though. I lift weight, I can do it. But I just want to feel that feminine, unique side of
Right.
and it's okay to do
Enjoy
that.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I mean,
So,
dating as a
so for
parent.
me, I think the narratives are changing. Most of the things we see, before we start seeing what we're seeing now, is a cultural, pass down. How to train your boy, how to train your girl. So the girls are always the focus, culturally. That's what they are the ones that will hold the home, they're the ones that will raise children, they're the ones that will. So the focus is always on the woman and the girl child when they're raising them, that she must know how to cook, she must know how to take care of children, she must be able to do this. So the pressure is a lot, and at times they leave the boy. They leave the boy without you really doing anything. So the boy, only thing is does, you will go and play football and come home, food is ready, and you will eat. But we find out that for now, we're now seeing that we need to raise these boys well, or else the girls are going to have issues as they grow up, because there won't be balance. So whatever, like she said, I think most of these things we have now, they are life skills. We should teach our children all these things: how to cook, change tires, wash a car, everything. Let us show them. Wash your clothes. If you don't wash it, then you don't wear it. It's your problem. So if we start doing that, we know that there is no disparity between the two. Both of them should learn the same thing. But it was what was passed down from us culturally, and the mindset, has been passed down that the girls are responsible. And the Bible also says the women are the ones that build the home. There's a place I was reading recently in my Bible, I think it was yesterday, says 5,000 men were counted aside the women and the. So I was wondering, I didn't know man beings. Why are they counting men and you're not counting women?
Yeah.
So, this thing subtly is a cultural thing. Even in the olden days, Israel, and there is a way they treat women like don't have voice. It's only the men. So few women that came up, like the Zelopheheds that came out, we too, we want land. That's like a women's liberation in the Bible. Those girls that say, we too, we are girls, we are all girls, but we need, So we see all these things happening. But now, the girls we are raising now are not giving that at all. They are taking their roles, they are taking their stand, except the ones that, those do not want to do. But mostly we are seeing like 70% of your young girls now are taking their stand. And at times we are even seeing that women are now becoming the breadwinner. We are seeing a lot of that happening, which is not looking good, but we are seeing it. That is the girls that are actually dropping the dough. Is happening now. So all these things needs to be balanced properly. So some men feel they can live on women. They supply what they eat, what they wear, what they but it's wrong also. So everybody should, like, I love what she said. nothing wrong. If you want to be doing soft life, it's okay. Whichever role you want to take is okay. But the point is, don't let us say, if you don't do this, like you said, you are not okay. If you don't, no, let everybody, be themselves and, just enjoy the life they've been given.
So just because we've been brought up in a very patriarchal society, culture has played a very, very major role in how we perceive, gender roles and responsibilities as well. But I believe we also need to start restructuring the minds of people now, not just even our children, but even when we relate with people, when we're working with people, that now reality is a lot different. Generations have passed. Thankfully, because of education, technology, mindsets are shifting. So we need to also let the girls know that it's also, that's why maybe people, when they see ladies assuming male roles, they now say, this is a strong, independent woman. And then they will now be saying, it will be difficult for her to get married because she'll be a threat to the husband. And then when you see men who maybe cry or are very emotional, they say, are you a gay? Do you understand? Are you sure you're a man? They start to question their outlook just because of the way their mindset is. So I think we should prepare people's minds that reality is changing. A strong woman who is independent, who may be the breadwinner, or who may be a lot responsible, maybe has a car, she's still single, does not mean she cannot be submissive. And a man who is very expressive or soft and kind-hearted and can cry is not a woman rapper. And if he is that way even in his marriage or in his family, it does not mean it's the wife that is controlling him, because that's another mindset entirely. So from our perspective, what would you say are some of these urgent gender thoughts or biases that need to be unlearned? We've already spoken about the whole domestic aspect. So what other gender roles, gender stereotypes should be unlearned greatly, especially because we're seeing that times are changing real quick? Who wants to go first?
Okay. Biases that need to be corrected.
Yes.
Women, stop completely depending on a man for financial
the one that will do everything.
Exactly.
For money.
A man is not the only one who can provide money. You can actually learn things to provide money for yourself. So I think and like I said one time, I said it's not really our fault. It's just that this is what we know. We have been seeing this even in movies. Even in movies, the prince will go and look for one. So your mind is already conditioned that I just have to look for one rich man. If I find one rich man, my life has changed, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So I think that's really one thing we should start to correct, that making money should be our collective responsibility, not just one person's duty.
And your money is your money,
my money,
my money is not my money. Your money
It's
is
our money.
It's
Your money is
our money. Okay, DT.
Okay, so men are seen as natural leaders. That they are the head of the home, so they should. In fact, it happened yesterday. A friend of mine just took on a new employee. She works with her husband. So when the husband is speaking to the new employee, the guy is have a different body language. And when the woman is speaking to him, he's sort of like, where would a woman be? You understand what I'm saying? So she noticed this and she was like, this guy just started work. Every time I'm speaking, it's like his body language is laying like women should not be talking to you. So they feel it's only men that should be leading. So when you have people like that, you can't talk to me. Do you talk to your husband like that at home? I beg. She's a leader. Leading you have to learn that leadership is not about gender. She can lead, you can lead. A man can lead as well as a woman can even lead better. So we have to change those biases. When you have a leader that is a woman, please give respect to her. She earned it to be there.
Love it.
And I think it's the issue of submission. But people forget that the Bible doesn't say submit to men, women submit to men. It's submit to your own husband. So I don't owe you submission.
That's another angle.
Yes, not every man.
It's not every man. So women are not subject to men.
Yes.
A wife is supposed to be submitted to her husband.
Yes.
So just because you're a man walking on the road, even if you're somebody's husband, I respect you for being someone's husband. That's a great role. Like, responsibility and everything, but you're not my husband, right? So I think there should be that. But my own that I wanted to speak to was on parenting.
Okay.
I feel like, just like we were saying earlier, that the girl child is raised to be domesticated, take care of the kids. I feel like, how about we see more, boys being trained to change diapers? I mean, because they're going to get there. If you get married and have a child, eventually there's going to come a time when you will change diapers, except you don't intend to be hands-on and you want to frustrate your wife, which is unfortunate, right? But I mean, many men have to learn, in marriage. Many wives have to teach their husband, and I don't have a problem with that. But I mean, if they learn earlier, if they're coming along with it, it'll be a lot easier for nursing mothers and all of that. So that's my own take that I want us to.
I have something I want to say also. Something that I think we should look at is when a man cheats, is like it's okay for men to cheat. When women step out, it's like no, it's an abomination. So why is that
Double
different
standard.
for the men? Why is it,
Yeah,
if it's a woman, everybody is saying, she's a woman, but men, okay, it's okay for men to cheat. I don't agree. Whatever goes for her should go for him. That is my own.
Precisely. I mean, like you said, it's not like we're fighting for equality, but there should be equity, right? If a man, cheats, they tell the woman, stay, forgive him. But if a woman cheats, they are saying, no, you can never stay with this woman again, right? So let's give to the man what we would give to the woman. Or better still, don't put your mouth in the matter at all. To be very honest, so it really, because that's why I said people maybe view men as like high up there. So even when they make mistakes or make errors, they're like, they would blame external situations for the cause of the mistake. But if it's a woman, they will blame her innate character for her failures. So let's really just be equal or equitable in how we address these things.
Equal measures.
Equal measures, precisely.
So the scary thing about preaching this narrative is that we now we groom or train children that I'm equal, and we train rude girls. I have seen women that have very distasteful character with that notion that, oh no, I have to be with a man.
What you can do, I can also do.
Do you understand that? And also we groom men to be so strong that they fail to know that vulnerability is actually their superpower. So I think we should always emphasize on the balance. So you can be a woman and still be a strong woman, but there are certain things you don't do. You should learn respect. There are people you don't address. See, for some reason, I would treat a man different from the way I'll treat a woman, because I just feel like he has so much responsibility. I should respect that man. And women should understand that you should respect a man. Even if you are rich or at the same financial state with that same man, he still needs respect. And for men, it's okay to honestly be vulnerable. In fact, tap into your emotional side.
Yeah, I would even add that your person as well also determines how you are seen, how you are spoken to. So if you carry yourself well, whether as a man or as a woman, they're just, your carriage would also, it would just attract respect, it would attract honor. So, the men...
There's some men that carry themselves well, but because the woman is badly trained or badly behaved, she can't stay in the house.
She's not the one that has the problem.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
She's the one that has the problem. But I'm just saying, generally as well, whether you're a man or a woman, because even if you want to adore and honor men, but there are still some women, just from the way they embody themselves, their carriage, their character, their charisma, you just be like, oh no, this person also deserves to be, respected.
Sorry, I feel like we shouldn't raise, how do I say this? We shouldn't raise women to idolize men. I mean, I feel like we should raise everyone to respect everyone. Respect and honor humans, period. So whether it's a male or a female, it shouldn't really, and I understand the fact that because men are different from women, the way you approach a man to say a thing might be different from the way you approach a woman. But if you're just generally respectful, raised correctly, like you said, it won't matter if someone is a man, or it won't even matter if the person is your husband or not your husband. You will honor the person, period. So
Okay. So I want to say that like I wrote something. I said, give equality is saying give everyone the same thing, and equity is saying give everyone what they need to succeed. So that's what we are seeing on this table now this morning. That it's not that everybody should get the same thing, but what do I need? What does she need? What does he need? And I think Abigail, got it well. What does she need? What does he need? Let us give what they need to each. I mean, yeah. So when I have what I need, when you have what you need, then we both succeed. Yeah.
And we both succeed, and that's the kind of society we want. And just to wrap it all up, what I would say we probably need to unlearn as well for these gender roles is maybe glorifying social media a whole lot, because social media is a very porous environment, and a lot of people are working with they might have the right intentions, but say for example, like you said, there are some girls who are working with this whole mindset of equity, but the way they exude it is more of me, I'm higher than you and all of it. So those are the people who will now be the woke ones on social media and are poisoning the minds of the younger generation, because that's what they're seeing a whole lot on social media. So their own narrative of what they're seeing on social media is clashing with what you as a parent is trying to tell them. And because the person they're seeing on social media is young like them, they're able to relate a whole lot more with them and probably want to follow that same mindset rather than you as a parent, because they'll say, your own is old school, you really don't know what's happening in the society. So I would say let's also encourage children, train them up not to live their lives off of social media. Just like we said on the table yesterday, if you are living, breathing and existing on social media, on what social media is saying, then it's a very, very fundamental problem, because there's little to what you can actually control on social media. You cannot control the people there, you cannot control what they say, and you cannot control how they say it, and also how your children will see it and how they would interpret it. So I think social media, the aspect of that is also very, very vital. What a conversation. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we get straight into our agree or disagree. And like we said before, the men, you're not left out of this conversation. No? So just in case we maybe missed something, or you maybe have an interesting aspect or idea, you can drop it in the comment section and our eyes will be there. We'll be right back after this break.
It's the big conversation where the real ones talk.
Welcome back to the show. It's time for our agree or disagree segments. We're going to see our statement on the screen, and we get to agree, disagree, and defend our answer. So let's see what we have for today. We've been talking about gender roles. Okay, if sons were raised like daughters, society would look different. If sons were raised like daughters, society would look different. Agree or disagree? If sons were raised like daughters, our society will look different. Agree or disagree? Nobody has their cards up.
No, the question is kind of, society will look different.
Agree or disagree? If sons are raised like daughters, our society will look different. Ewa, do you disagree or you agree?
I'm trying to
answer in one paragraph. Agree.
Agree now. Yeah.
Okay. Abigail, do you agree or disagree?
I don't even know if let them start.
Let
Let me just. I'll be making up my mind.
Okay, DT, you go first.
Okay,
DT,
so I was going to say I disagree in a way, but I now saw that, okay, on another angle, it could actually be I have to agree. So, the way we raise our daughters now, don't say now because things are changing, that we used to raise our daughters, we used to focus a lot on them and leave the boys and feel that, okay, she's the one that will hold the home, she's the one that will build the home, raise children, do this, do that. So we focus more on the girl child and say, sit properly, do this one, you're always on their case. You can't go there, you're not a boy, you're not this. We keep saying that when we are raising them. That was the old, that's how the mindset was. So, and we see a lot of that lapses now, because we see a lot of the men, they hardly can do anything. Everything is were done for them when they were raising them, so they don't have all those skills that we call those things that we're pointing out as life skills. They do not have them. So, but we are seeing that. So we raising them as I'm going to the other way I'm going to look at it is we can't be raising them as daughters. I think we need to give them what they need for survival. That's the new way we should look at it now. That before we were trying to raise them like, if you don't raise them like your daughter, that means they can't wash plate, they can't do this, they can't do that, you know, they are not able to. But from our discussion on this table, I believe what we are saying is that, you know, raise them as boys, give them what they need to survive as men. Not necessarily, they can't be, a man can never be, we've said that this morning, that a man is not a woman.
Yeah,
we have different features, our minds, everything about us is different, our brain and everything is different. So don't try and force your boy to behave like a girl. I think it's wrong, because their makeup is totally different. So what does my son need to, you know, to be successful in life? What are the skills I need to give to him to help him be a good man, to help him be a leader, you know, in his home, to be able to give the things he needs to give to his family? That is what I would ask myself as a mother. That what do I give to this boy, that when he grows up and becomes a man, he will be responsible not just to himself, to his family, and the society at large.
Exactly.
That is what I would look at. So for me, I don't want to raise my son like I raised my girl. It's from this discussion, I think, is a mindset shift, actually.
Wow,
make me to see, yes, that we need, don't say that you want to raise the girl, oh yes, your sister is washing plates, you should what do they need as men? They need to know how to do our shows. Yes, I was on my son's case. I mean, the only one within at home, your senior one has gone. So nobody's going to watch the place. You will watch it, because I'm not going to watch it. You will watch it, whether you're a boy or not. Because it needs, like we said, like, it's a life skill. It is not that it's a boy role, it's a girl role. No, you need to know how to wash your clothes. You know, those are things. Be responsible. Don't say, hey, it's my wife, and you now be reading newspaper and put your leg on the table. There's nothing like that. If she's not here, or she's pregnant and she can't do anything. Some men, their wives are pregnant, they cannot help to do anything at all. So what would you need to be a responsible man? That is what I'm going to do and focus on to raise. So that's my way. I don't want to raise my boy like my daughter.
Okay.
What she needs is different, what he needs is different.
All right, well, have you decided? Because
Abigail
Abigail
has
has decided.
I have
Let's go.
made up my mind that
disagree.
statement, I do not quite agree with it. And I like the way you put it. In fact, you just summarized everything. Men and women are not the same thing. So they shouldn't be treated the same way. If I have a boy, I will teach him how to become a better man. I will teach him how to be a provider, a protector, because that's how he should be. I would also imbibe in him the normal skills that he needs to survive. And as a woman, I would treat my girl as a princess. You should know that you should close your legs. You should speak a certain kind of way. If you want to be with a king, I will groom you to become a princess. As you see what Wike is doing with his sons, putting them in the corridors of powers, because he's intentionally trying to change their mindset and say, okay, this is how I want you to think. It's not a bad thing. So I don't think you'd say treat your boys as girls. No, I'm saying treat your men as men and your girls as girls, while they can still do the same things to help themselves. So yeah.
Okay, well, we'll say that as I agree. My agreement is in the statement, literally, that if we raised sons like daughters, society will actually look different, right? It will look different, because you would raise him as and she him. So on that one, I think I would say, if you're raising the boys, raise them as the boys, but I would say maybe raise them also to be open-minded, where they're not very rigid. I get, yes, you know, men are very agentic, they're built that way. Nature and nurture would teach them to be very strong, to be agentic, to be the provider, to be the keeper, to be the protector, all of it. But also grooming them to realize that there is also room for
Flexibility.
Yes. Do you get? So they're not very rigid. There's room for vulnerability. There is room for something a lot different. And also maybe because sometimes the way we raise boys or the way we treat boys, they feel like, oh, boys can sort themselves out, right? They would figure life out. Because say, for example, if you have a boy, you have a girl, you probably would allow the boy to start learning how to drive earlier than the lady. You'd probably allow the guy to move out of the house to rent his own apartment than the lady. So you just feel like, oh, he's figuring out life himself, and just boys will be boys. But girls, you have to be a lot more intentional. So I would say, I mean, if you raise boys and you're also very, very intentional about them, letting them know that, okay, you're a boy, you're a man, but there's also room for this. There's also, you know, let them be a lot more open-minded. Let them be a lot more long-sighted, then maybe, just maybe, we would not have men who have the opinion of I'm the provider, and they are the ones who are threatened by single ladies who have their own cars or have whatever it is going on for them. They will not be threatened by that, but rather see it as this woman is actually my helper, and she's also providing for the family because it is our family. It is a together something. So I would say maybe the same intentionality we give to the ladies, let's give to the men as well. So yes, Ewa, you can go now.
Okay, so finally, I love everything that everyone has said, and I think we're all driving towards the same direction, which is that, like I said at the beginning, the conversation should not be at the low level of domestic chores and things like that, basic skills. The conversation should be at the level of who is a man supposed to be? Can we raise him in that direction? And who is a woman supposed to be? And again, there will be arguments around, who defines what a woman is and what a man is, but that's not what this conversation is about. We're going to just sidestep it, right? So we can focus on today's zone. But yes, giving them, like DT said, giving them what they need to become who they are supposed to be, responsible sons or daughters, who will grow to be fathers and mothers, who can also pass on that same thing to the next generation, because that's what it's about, just passing it on to the next generation, right? And if we don't get it right in this generation, the next generation will be worse off, right?
Precisely,
So, yes.
and then it would be one very terrible cycle. But I mean, I love that it's been a very mind-shifting conversation, just like DT said. But just before we go, let's see our wise words on the web. Okay, DT, can you read for us, please?
There is no greater inequality than the equal treatment of unequals. Aristotle. Wow.
Deep.
Very deep.
There is no greater inequality
than the
equal treatment of unequals. Very, very
Equal
deep.
treatment of unequals.
Equal treatment of unequals. Think about that. And just like that, we come to the end of today's discussion. We may have different opinions, different experiences, and different realities. But one thing is clear. The way we talk about boys, girls, and expectations is changing. And that change starts with conversations like this. Honest, sometimes uncomfortable, but always necessary. Thank you for staying with us, for engaging, and for being part of this moment. I saw a few comments on YouTube where, Ronnie said if she was on the table, she would have entered the same trouser with you, because she was disagreeing with a few things that you said. But like we said, it might be an uncomfortable, conversation. But that's what we do on this table. That's why it's the big conversation. But thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you to my beautiful ladies. All right, so we'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of The Big Conversation.
Voices rising, stories told, truth unfolding, brave and bold. In this space we speak our mind, different views all intertwined. It's the big conversation where the real ones talk. From the heart of the nation we all take that walk. Through the fire, through the facts we don't hold back. It's the big, big conversation. Voices rising, stories told, truth unfolding, brave and bold. In this space we speak our mind, different views all intertwined. It's the big conversation where the real ones talk. From the heart of the nation we all take that walk.